Okay, hello, Instagram, hi, Facebook Live. I am back today. We have 2 more days of breast health factors in honor of October breast, what I'm calling Breast Health Month, okay? And traditionally October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and there is a lot of focus, a lot of helpful focus on prevention through, looking at screenings and waiting for imaging, so on and so forth. But what I love to talk about as a functional medicine practitioner and really a wellness advocate is how can we step into this place of nourishing our breast health day in and day out throughout the year, all year long, and not just in the month of October. So thus far, you guys, we have covered throughout this month, really, we've been covering the factors for breast health. We broke that down to 7 factors for breast health, and we are today talking about factor 5 and factor 6. Factor 5 is detox, and factor 6 is oxidative stress. I decided to do both of them today because individually they're both really small, and so I thought I could just shove it into one single video. Okay, hi, hello Instagram. If you are just joining me, let me know where it is that you're coming from on Facebook as well. If you have a girlfriend who would benefit from learning about how it is that she can nourish her breasts, go ahead and pop her name in the comment section, tag her so that she has a chance to look at this as well. If you're catching me on Instagram Live, of course this video is only available for the next 24 hours, but it will always live and be available on YouTube as well as on facebook.com/Dr. Melissa Esquera. Hey, Doc, good to see you on here. So if you have questions, also feel free to post it in the comment section, whether you're on Facebook and Instagram. And if you're watching the recording, you can also post your questions because I will be checking the comment thread on this as well. All right, so let's dive into factor number 5, detox. So there are a couple different reasons why we would need to support our detoxification system when it comes to breast health. The first is because our bodies are exposed to an overwhelmingly amount of toxins nowadays in 2018 that can act as hormone disruptors. Now, factor number 4 that we got really into was, actually, maybe it was factor 3. Factor 3 was hormones. And so we kind of got into that whole hormonal regulating process of the liver, because if the liver isn't working well, then we can see a detoxification. We can see that the detoxification pathway of estrogen can be a little bit shoddy. It can get overwhelmed. Those toxins, if they're not appropriately detoxified, they can cause additional hormonal dysregulation. And when we're looking at hormones like estrogen, we can see they do have the potential, when in excess, to cause or perpetuate proliferation of unhealthy breast tissue, okay? So we really want the detoxification pathways to be open and regulated, but we also want to make sure that we are avoiding toxin exposure as much as possible, especially those toxins that have the potential to look like estrogen. So we label those toxins xeno, meaning foreign, estrogens. So xenoestrogens, foreign estrogens. Things that can act like foreign estrogens are things like pesticides and herbicides. Things that can act like foreign estrogens are, jet fuel stuff that we're breathing in. If you live by an international airport, I live around 3, so that stuff is constantly getting dumped into the air. We are indeed exposed to a lot of xenoestrogens that we are just passively taking in. Now there, of course, is a small subset of xenoestrogens that we can control, like xenoestrogens that we might not fully be aware that we are bringing into our home, which we'll get to in the final point here. So just know that there's a lot of things that we're exposed to that can cause hormone disruption. And so while you can't control all those external factors, what you can do is you can step into this place of empowerment and go, I'm just going to give my body some extra tools that it can use to break down those xenoestrogens so that there will be less exposure to my body. Okay? Awesome. So, I'm not going to let anybody join me live on this video. Sorry. that was a weird request. So know this. If you are wanting to lower your toxic burden in your body, you can do a couple of different things. Number 1, you can bring in more citrus oils into your life. Drinking citrus oils every day is going to help your body break down those xenoestrogens and then also help your liver through that detoxification process so that those xenoestrogens can more efficiently be broken down into a water-soluble form so that then you can flush it out either through the urine or through the digestive tract. So citrus oils are really helpful for that. Zendocrine blend is also really helpful. There's citrus oil in there, but Zendocrine blend actually has other essential oils in it, like juniper berry and rosemary, that can help, and geranium, that further help along that detoxification process beyond just handing your body the citrus oil to help break down those xenoestrogens. So what I love about the Zendocrine oil is Dr. David Hill is just so brilliant. He's our chief medical advisor and puts together the formulas in our oils. And what's so beautiful about that oil is there's oils in it to support not just the whole breakdown process of xenoestrogens, but also to support the liver. And then next to the liver is the gallbladder, also very important in breaking down and supporting healthy detox. And so there's geranium to support the gallbladder, rosemary to support the liver. There's juniper berry to support the kidneys, which are going to flush out some of that stuff through the urine. And so it's got like this whole thing in there. So if you're looking at oils internally, Rosalina asked a wonderful question, how many drops internally? So I would say to start out with 5 drops internally every day, and you can work your way up to 10 drops and even up to 15 drops per day. But I would recommend that you don't do more than 1 drop per 8 to 10 ounces when you're getting started, just so that you can give your body a small and gentle introduction to oils internally, okay? So don't go over 15 drops per day. That's usually the recommendation for adults, all right? And then finally, if you want to support your liver a little bit more, you can actually add a little bit of rosemary oil to that. So you could do a drop of Zendocrine oil and a drop of rosemary oil. I love grapefruit and rosemary. It's all over my Instagram right now. I love to combine rosemary and citrus oil, especially grapefruit, because they're really, really yummy together. And I know I'm giving my liver that little bit of extra support. Rosemary oil is also known to be very protective, meaning liver protective. All right, so I love those oils to support my system in better being able to manage some of those foreign hormone disruptors that I'm being exposed to without really fully knowing about it, okay? Number 2 for detox is we can support healthy estrogen metabolism. So remember, some of us are less efficient at detoxifying estrogen in our bodies. Not all breast cancer is associated with estrogen, but there are many that are estrogen mediated or hormonal mediated. And so looking further into, if you're worried about that, you can actually look further into how your body breaks down estrogen. You can see if you struggle a little bit in that, and if you need to support these pathways with a little bit more of with a little bit more intensity. But really quick, I'll just talk to you about ways that you can support that healthy estrogen metabolism through the detox pathways. And if you want to dive into this even deeper, go back and watch factor number 3, which is hormones. So in factor number 3 video, I break down that whole detoxification process from phase 1 to phase 2 to phase 3. And I go really deep into phase 1 because that's where some people are more prone to, breaking down estrogens, but not fully being able to detox them, and then having some of that, metabolite be, cancer promoting, okay? But here, all in all, just because we're talking about detox right now, here are ways that you can support phase 1, phase 2, okay? So ways to support phase 1 is eating your cruciferous vegetables, all right? Mom was right, you need those leafy greens, okay? Cruciferous vegetables are loaded with vitamin B, loaded with vitamin C. Those are literally the cofactors that your liver requires to carry out healthy phase 1 detoxification, okay? If you are, if you know you have a hard time with raw veggies, do steamed, do roasted, it doesn't matter, just get that in, okay? You can also bring in, if you need additional support beyond taking in your green leafies, you can do the Terra greens. If you have a doTERRA account, Terra greens are wonderful, they're organic, lots of green vegetables in there. And then if you need additional supplementation, because you know you're a poor phase 1 detoxifier, you know your body is more prone to sending estrogen metabolites down that 4-OH pathway, you can bring in some DIM or indole 3-carbinol. All right, now to support phase 2, which requires good amounts of, guess what? Glutathione. You can support that with citrus. I talk about citrus in like every video I ever make because citrus works on so many different things. Citrus actually helps your liver recycle and glutathione, which is our body's most powerful antioxidant and something that is required for good phase 2 detoxification. Absolutely, Dr. Laura. Cauliflower in for the win. cauliflower, broccoli, Brussels sprouts. You can Google cruciferous vegetables for a full list of that, okay? And pick your favorites and get in lots of it. You can also support healthy phase 2 by making sure you get adequate amounts of magnesium into your life, okay? So if you need extra, if you Google foods high in magnesium, again, lots of green vegetables on there, but also make sure you're taking your Microplex VMZ. Many of us are walking around vitamin and mineral deficient. You don't need crazy high amounts of magnesium. You just need to have baseline quantities, okay? And many of us are lacking in that, and you can support your body in having baseline quantities with Microplex VMZ, okay? Also, making sure you're eating foods that are really high in B vitamins. Again, cruciferous vegetables in for the win on that. All right, now how can we support healthy detox even beyond just working in the internal environment and working on those detox pathways and lowering the total body burden of those toxins that your liver would have to work on, is to take a little inventory of what does your external environment look like. Okay, it is shocking. It was shocking to me to realize when I was first introduced to doTERRA, it took me like over a year to start looking at what am I putting in my home. I never even thought to replace my multi-purpose cleaner. I never even thought that I needed to use. I was buying like fragrance-free laundry detergent because I'm prone to really bad allergies, but I didn't realize that some of that stuff was still has toxins in it. I didn't even think about looking at my hair care. I was buying really good hair care at the store, you know? So I realized that even though I'm a pretty healthy, health-conscious individual, and after, you know, when I had been exposed to doTERRA, I'd already been in functional medicine practice for over 6 years. I hadn't even done the full internal home sweep of all the junk that I was exposing my body to, that I had control over. And every time I was cleaning the house, and I'm a clean freak, I'll clean every single week. I have professional cleaners come into my home twice a month, and I changed everything in my home using the multi-purpose cleaner for everything. The hand wash for the hand wash is like an amazing carpet cleaner too. I use the hand wash to do my dishes in the sink. I use the laundry detergent now. I use everything doTERRA. So it's like just replacing a lot of that stuff that I was buying at Costco and Target. And the crazy thing is, like looking back, for a while I was buying the Method multi-purpose cleaner, which was way expensive. And then there was this other one that was like organic, and I was spending way like $10 or something on my multi-purpose cleaner. Now I just buy the doTERRA one, and I buy that concentrate. It lasts months and months and months, and I get to even like add my favorite scents to it. Also taking a good hard look at your skincare. So what you put on your skin, what your skin comes in contact with, about 70% of that ends up in your bloodstream. Okay, so if you're mopping your floors with pine salt, or cleaning your bathtub with cleaners, and then your pets are walking on the floor, or your kids are walking on the floor, or jumping in that bathtub, or breathing in those fumes after they get into a shower, now those toxins are sitting on the surface, and now the hot water comes on, and then there's a steam, which intensifies what it is that we're inhaling. Think about that, you guys, or touching on the skin. That stuff has to then get into our body, get into our bloodstream. You're a total invitation for hormone disruption, immune system overwhelm. Okay, so just really, really start looking at that stuff. You can even look at your makeup. doTERRA doesn't make makeup, so you'll have to find another company that does that. If you have a good makeup that's organic, it works really well, I want to hear from you. Post it in the comment section. I'm sure that's something that our community could use a little bit more support with, is switching the organic makeup piece. And then finally, making sure your toothpaste and your mouth, like anything you put in your mouth, because we have a lot of absorption that goes on in this mucosal membrane here, making sure that you're using toxin-free mouthwash, or using, instead maybe doing oil pulling. Like I love to do oil pulling with a drop of Melaleuca or a drop of Copaiba to clean out my mouth. Using fluoride-free toothpaste. You guys, fluoride is a thyroid hormone disruptor, okay? Plain and simple. Fluoride will sit on the cell receptor site that iodine is supposed to sit on. It's a stronger halide, so it will literally bully out iodine, and now your body is lacking the primary building block for thyroid hormones. If you have thyroid issues, know that you will want to switch to fluoride-free toothpaste. You do not need fluoride to support healthy teeth, okay? Healthy teeth comes from good, healthy nutrition and good, healthy gums. Good, healthy nutrition comes from what it is you put in your body from the grocery store into your body, and you can clean your gums with, guess what, essential oils. You do not need fluoride, and then you can support your teeth with good, healthy supplementation, okay? So Okay, sorry for all my dental friends. I have really good friends that are dentists that totally disagree with me on this, but I have holistic dentists that fully agree with me on this. So know that if you have thyroid issues, definitely avoid the fluoride. Okay, so those are ways that you can clean up your toxin exposure. Let's jump over to oxidative stress. I love the research. I love to look on PubMed. I always refresh my information before I get on and do Facebook Lives. So actually, I pulled up a big review in the Free Radical Biology and Medicine Journal. And what they were showing was that there's been a lot of correlation between oxidative stress and the perpetuation of inflammation, and how those two things, those two elements, can contribute to unhealthy cell proliferation. Okay, so let's get into what is oxidative stress. Oxidative stress, just to give you a quick visual, if you bite into an apple, initially that inside meat looks really nice, white, crisp, right? So what happens, post in the comment section, what happens if you leave that apple out after you've bitten into it and it starts to engage with the air, the oxygen in the air? Go ahead, somebody let me know what happens there. I think that there's a little delay on here. It starts to turn brown, okay? So if it starts to turn brown, that's just a great representation, a great visual, yeah, thank you, doctor. It's a great representation of what happens when something interacts with oxygen, okay? So things like toxins can cause an excess of oxidative stress in our body. The oxidative stress has the capacity to cause these free radicals to go in, and free radicals sound really cool and fun, but they're actually bad. Free radicals can bump up against tissue and cause tissue damage. Now, our body naturally does create oxidative stress because it goes through the metabolic processes. It's a natural part of being a human, but we are supposed to be able to have adequate amounts of antioxidants inside of our body to be able to counteract the effects of that. Okay. Unfortunately for us, a lot of our antioxidants are getting eaten up by stress and inflammation. Okay. So we need to make sure that we are now more than ever, especially in terms of breast health, that we're giving our body all the phytochemicals that it needs, all the plants that it needs to hand our system those antioxidants. All right. Things like also essential oils are full of antioxidants. They can act great like that, but also plant foods will do that as well. So just make sure that you're doing a good look on how is it that I'm helping my body better manage oxidative stress so that it can handle lowering inflammation and it can better manage and really divert the side effects of having too much oxidative stress in my body over time. So one of the interesting things that the journal mentioned was that oxidative stress activates the inflammatory pathways that can lead to a couple of different things that are known to cause and then perpetuate unhealthy cells. So if you have too much oxidative stress hanging out in your body, it's going to activate that inflammatory pathway, and then that in turn can help, it will actually turn on the genes in our cells that then perpetuate healthy cells to turn into unhealthy cells. Like, that's not a magical thing that happens for no reason. So this journal is inferring that oxidative stress kind of contributes to that unhealthy, that healthy cell turning into an unhealthy cell, okay? We know that as oxidative stress causes inflammation, that those two things can then cause cell proliferation. So then we see cells starting to multiply that shouldn't be multiplying. And then also we see the connection, the journalist saying that they see the connection between that and angiogenesis, which is where the body starts to then, it has this unhealthy cell or a group of unhealthy cells, and now the body is sending things that will feed that unhealthy cell, hooking in vasculature into the unhealthy cell, and then feeding it things that we don't want it to be getting fed because that's going to cause it to grow. So they're saying that oxidative stress causes inflammation that can then turn on those genes that can activate these 3 different pathways that can cause and perpetuate unhealthy cell tissue. That might be TMI for a lot of you guys. I could have just said oxidative stress and inflammation perpetuate unhealthy cell tissue, but I wanted to give you a little bit of an understanding on how that actually plays out and to kind of legitimize that for you so it makes more sense. Now let's talk about ways that we can support our body in better managing oxidative stress and lowering inflammation in hopes that our intelligent immune system can then live in a better environment where it can work effectively to interact with those cells that aren't healthy. And also we can change that internal environment by supporting by giving our body antioxidants and lowering inflammation so that internal environment is less conducive to any of those transcription factors being turned on, causing the unhealthy tissue proliferation. Sorry about my cat, you guys. He loves to be in here, and then he likes to slash his butt in the screen. I'm so sorry about that. Okay, so here we go. Let's talk about ways to support our system. My favorite thing to help support my body in having healthy inflammatory levels and not excessive inflammatory levels is alpha CRS. I love alpha CRS. You guys take a look at those ingredient lists. It's full of anti-inflammatory elements. Okay, I always say alpha CRS is like taking a fire extinguisher to your body. Okay, you have the turmeric and the curcumin in there. You have the grapeseed extract. You have the green tea extract. You have a lot of phytochemicals in there that act like great antioxidants, counteracting the effects of the natural oxidative stress that we're exposed to for various reasons, and also creating metabolically naturally. And then also frankincense essential oil, of course, is anti-inflammatory. You could do a couple of drops under your tongue. You can also do turmeric essential oil, a couple of drops under your tongue. Oh no, I was gonna make a soft gel with you guys, but I left it in the kitchen. Oh well, did I leave it? Yeah, I did. Okay, so a couple of drops of frankincense, a couple of drops of turmeric, and a couple of drops of copaiba. All three of those, you can look those up on PubMed.gov, all three of those have lots of research talking about the ways that they can actually help our body have a healthy inflammatory response and support our system in managing an excessive inflammatory response in such a way that might be damaging to our cells. So what I recommend that you do, if you don't like the taste of frankincense, copaiba, and turmeric, and truth be told, frankincense and turmeric can be a little bit tough to get used to, you can actually put it in an empty veggie cap, 2 drops each every single day, just in the morning time, to give your body some extra support in managing healthy inflammation in the body. Okay, what's also so wonderful about each of those oils is they're also naturally full of antioxidants. So you have the support to better manage that oxidative stress. So it's counteracting with the antioxidants. And then also you're handing your body some tools that it can use to help better manage inflammation. Okay, and then we're changing our internal environment in that way, making it so it's more conducive to healthy tissue and less conducive to unhealthy tissue. All right, so that wraps up our talk about how can we support healthy detox, factor number 5, and healthy levels of oxidative stress, better managing that, and healthy levels of inflammation, better managing that, both of those being factor number 6, all right? All right, so if you have questions on any of this, please let me know. And if you want to review factors 1, 2, 3, and 4, you can go ahead and find the recordings on facebook.com/Dr. Melissa Isquera. If you have questions about any of this, post it in the comment section. I'm happy to answer them. Other than that, tag a friend if any of this information you think would be pertinent to them. I will be back in on Wednesday talking about our 7th factor for breast health, emotional support. Okay, love to talk about that one. Lots of love to you guys. Can't wait to see you on Wednesday. If you have any questions, feel free to post. Talk to you soon.